Hello and welcome back to Chaos Creations. I hope everyone is doing well and having fun. Now, I want to talk to you about a few things. This is mostly the old world stuff, but it's also some 40k in there as well and some rumors that seem to be very, very real. Please excuse the chaos symbol. I'm using it to focus in with this camera so I know what's going on. So it's just there for show for the moment. It is a very nice thing. I've had it for many, many years. I don't even remember where I got it from, to be honest with you. It's on my travels around the world. Anyway, oh, hang on, it's got something written on the back. What does that say? Gothic. Well, that's kind of appropriate, really, isn't it? Anyway, so the Avatars of War is a company that makes a lot of resin miniatures. I've got a lot of their stuff. I was a Patreon for them for many, many years. And they've brought out some base sort of like fillers. So instead of rebasing your bases on, a brand spanking new 3D printed, base, which looks absolutely awesome, because I made it, they've done these like little square things. So you can just pop those on either end and it can just, go on them around the base. Now, I popped it in for the merchant's license, so just the basic one, which was $9, and the merchant's one, I think, was like $50 or 45 or something, but still pretty good value. And they do 20 to 25s and the horse bases and a few others. They don't do 40 to 50 bases, but these are files. You just make them bigger. That's pretty much how it works. Now, I ran into a few problems with it. First one being is the fact that they wanted to put their name on the bottom there. And now I'm sure on a resin printer that works perfectly fine, but on a printer with PLA, that's about as good as I got. And it was causing problems. It was causing it to slide off and rip off the plate and so forth. Not particularly good. And the next problem I had, of course, was the fact that it's supposed to be like an encased sort of like hole, and the printer just wasn't doing it. Even with supports, which didn't work, it was still not coming out. And the other side is supposed to be like a little sort of like nub that sticks out. And once again, I had problems there as well because there was no support. And it was a problem. So with some help, I was able to make some modifications. And the modifications we did was also this, before I forget, this has like a little lip going up, like a clip. And that was causing problems once again. So what was done was the edges here were put flat. We took away the symbol and we took away that little lip bit as well. Now, on a resin printer, like I said, this would have been a dream come true, not a problem, easy peasy. But for PLA, it was a problem and it had to be done. Now that that's been done, we have a nice little base. So it goes from 20 to 25 with no problems whatsoever. So it's absolutely gorgeous. Fits on there nice and evenly, and I can just put some sand around the base there, and away we go, not a problem. Now, I personally think that these base clips are awesome for miniatures, metal miniatures in particular, that are on bases that have, nice detail and so forth, and you are worried about snapping them off and snapping a part of the model off as well. I understand completely. These are gorgeous miniatures, especially if they're all painted up. You don't want to damage it. It works really well. If it's brand spanking new, like, some of my plastic skellies that came out of the tombs of my boxes, then stick it on a wonderful plastic base like this, easy peasy, and it looks gorgeous, nicely painted up. Takes half an hour to do the base realistically, and away we go. So it's just a personal choice, really. And what I'll do is I got a whole lot of metal ones from eBay that are on bases, so I'll put these. I'll show them off to you anyway, and I'll put them on this, and then the new ones that come out, hopefully early January, they'll be stuck on this. Now, we don't know the base sizes for most stuff, so we're just going to have to wing it until then. Now, as for information, oh, before I forget, these were all done on my bamboo carbon. It's the next one. And in the end, what we had to do was print them out like that. That was the preferred size, a way of printing them out on the carbon, and it's quite nice. So I started off with a test print like that, and then went on to a bigger test print, and now I've just doubled that again. So hopefully that'll print perfectly fine. So news. My biggest question was to a group of people the fact of if Forge was now merged with Games Workshop, what happened to all their resin miniatures? So I've been hearing a lot of rumors about Plastic Krieg coming out. A lot of rumors about Plastic Krieg coming out because it would make sense, They did a whole lot of resin Krieg and they were very expensive, ridiculously expensive. And I get the feeling they're going to be coming out very soon, more than likely with the Imperial Guard box set, if not sooner. A whole lot of Plastic Krieg, with shovels, of course. Let's not forget the shovels. And you'll also see them on horseback and so forth. So a very big, very full Krieg range will be coming up. I'm pretty certain of it. Almost, bet money on it. That's how much I've heard and how positive I've heard about it. So that sounds interesting. The other thing I've heard about, so I really don't understand a lot of 40k lore and so forth. I did look at playing Tyranids, but to be honest with you, they weren't impressive enough. I mean, I expected, it's like a Norn queen, like, the size of an imperial knight, if not bigger, towering over it and so forth. And what we got was this. It was a big miniature, don't get me wrong, but just, I guess size does matter when it comes to Tyranids. Well, for me. So, I've heard rumors about, the redacted. So if you go onto the 40k page, it's got like all the codexes coming out, and there is one called redacted. And I get the feeling that people are saying, it's going to be Dark Mechanicum, but I don't think it's going to be Dark Mechanicum. I actually think it's going to be that wannabe that wanted to be a chaos god, the god of machines, Vashtok or Vashtok, whatever you call him. So I get the feeling it's going to be him bringing out a whole new army. And since he's worshipped by anybody that worships machines, so we're talking Necrons, Adeptus Mechanicus, we're talking about Eldar, and so forth. So I get the feeling he's going to have this, bizarre, gauntish sort of army of all this, mishmash of weaponry all put together with troops and so forth, all robots and such. It's going to be very, very interesting, if that's true. That's the feeling I get, anyway. I could be very wrong, but I think that's the reason why it's redacted and they're not going to show you anything, because it's going to be a brand spanking new army. Anyway, so what I'll be doing over the next Christmas break, besides eating way too much Christmas pudding, will be I'll rebase all of my metal miniatures. And I'll show them all up on here. And then what we'll do is in the new year, or hopefully Boxing Day, they'll start showing off all the new old world stuff. I keep wanting to call it Fantasy Battle. I think from now on I'm just going to call it Fantasy Battle. That's what it is. It's a fantasy battle. So they'll be going all the Fantasy Battle stuff. And then hopefully early January to mid-January, we can start getting models, and then, my page hopefully will be, a daily event of videos and such. Anyway, everyone have a great day. Have a safe Christmas. If you're in Australia, it's very hot for most parts of it. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it must be very cold for you guys. All that snow and so forth. Never seen snow, always wanted to. Must be interesting. Very cold as well, colder than I've ever known before, because in Australia, while it gets cold, it never gets that cold, obviously. No snow. All right, any questions, just ask. I do have a few competitions running where you can win awesome stuff. Hopefully I can get rid of it soon, because I need the space. So please like this video, subscribe to this video, and remember, you got to love the game, love life. Chaos out. Merry Christmas.